Today we're going to be working on Leetcode question number 338, counting bits. Given an integer n, return an array in ants of length n plus 1, okay, such that for each I, which is going to go from 0 including and then up to n including inclusive, both of them are going to be inclusive. Answer of I is the number of ones in the binary representation of that I. So if n is equal to 2, we're going to have 0 1 1. So basically this n doesn't dictate anything other than what is going to be the length of the answer when we're going to be starting from 0 and go up to n. All it says is like then the binary representation, there are 0 number of ones. In the one binary representation of in the binary representation of 1 we have 1 ones, and the binary representation of 2 we have 1 2. So again, our answer or the result is gonna be equal to the length of gonna be equal to n plus 1. So result is equal to new int n plus 1, and then we are gonna use a helper function here. So for every I and I is equal to 0, I is less than equal to n I plus plus. So for all of them, we're gonna say that we're gonna be resolving I by calling a helper function solve. We're gonna be sending it I, and then we're gonna be returning the result. So public, this thing actually sends back an integer, takes an integer, let's just call it, and which is going to be the index representation, like basically the indices of from 0 to up to n. So for every n, what we're going to be doing is like if that n is equal to 0, we're going to be returning 0, because there are 0 ones in the binary representation of n. If n is equal to 1, we're going to be returning 1, because there are a total number of ones in the binary representation of 1. And then what we're going to be do recursively call itself if it is like an even. If the number is even, we're just going to say that return solve and divided by 2, right? Else, if it is not even, then we're going to say that return 1 plus solve n by 2. So this is just one way of checking how many number of ones a number has in the binary representation. Looking good. And it did pass all the test cases.